Let me be clear. These roundtable discussions are not at all intended to imply that I hate all white men or think all white men are part of the devil's dominion. That is not true at all. Also, it is not to imply that I hate America. I love America. But as I've said many times, America is not well, but it is sure is better. Now, how long can it remain before it's on life support without change? That I do not know. America is better because we Americans have the privilege to keep fighting to make it better. And that definitely is a privilege. And again, on the white man subject, since I talk about that a lot throughout these roundtable discussions, a good example of the word that I use, the coup, and a simple example is when a select group raises the bar or makes something more difficult to eliminate the number of people who can and who have achieved select accomplishment simply because they feel it is getting too crowded. And also because the more people achieve select accomplishment, it makes them feel like their accomplishments are less, which is not true. But that's what I mean when I say a design control. And another example is of a design control is without health care for the poor and the poor and the elderly. It means more are left to die. And of course, the more elderly die, the less Social Security you have to pay for them. That's another example of that. And then back to the white man issue. Um, I was only able to enter into the coveted business of oil because a white man helped me. He actually worked for BP at the time. I would never have been able to get in that door had he not helped me. And that industry, only white men could open the doors in the US because they're the only ones at that time that had enough power to do so in the oil industry. And in addition to that, there were many others in quote unquote smaller industries that helped me. There was one that, I leased drivers from. There was one that I leased tanks from. There was one that actually helped me in reference to banking. So it is not all white men. Not at all. In fact, it seemed the ones who were in, I don't want to say smaller businesses, but were more responsible for making their own way versus a huge corporation where someone else make your way. They were very open and they seem to have understood what it takes to get there and to stay there. So they figure if you can stay, God bless you. And they also told me the downsides. Even my VP mentor told me the downsides of coming into the business. He didn't lie to me. And no, he was not a sugar daddy. There was no sleep in my way into the oil industry. It was not like that at all. But I just wanted to make that clear. And even in large corporations such as Michelin Tire, American Airlines, I mean, they were really pushing for me to work with them. And my American airline contact said he would love to see someone else in the industry because the oil industry that he worked with at that time, he said they were very arrogant, because where are you going to go? You're going to buy your oil from us. So that is not at all what I am implying. But the ones who I am making the larger reference to, they know who they are. They know who they are, and they know what they do. So I just wanted that to be clear. And um, the point of another point of this broadcast is, I came from country girl, came from Mississippi North, looking for a promised land, and I referenced the oil because I feel like I found it. I got there. My children both went to major universities, as I am, as is brought to my attention now. My daughter to Ivy League, my son to Notre Dame, and they got in on their own merits. Believe me, I had no money to pay a fixer. So that's how I can say, in a world of chitlins to caviar, I can swing both ways because I've had exposure in both areas. To be continued.